There's like a big blue pot in my kitchen that I used to make like a chicken and broccoli pasta dish.
Right.
Like a week and a half ago. And about a week ago, I opened it up, and there was like weird spiderwebby kind of mold growing in there, and I just closed it again. I just left it on my stove. It's just there. And the other day, I was making a truly pathetic attempt to clean my kitchen, just like washing like 4 pots, just so that like the next time I make a meal, I don't have to do it. And I just kind of like, I don't know why, but I opened it up, and the whole kitchen smelled different for like 7 minutes.
Just closed it?
Yeah.
Take it down, get therapy. The wheels trying to find the cure. It's the time of your life, one chance to get it right. To get his feet back on the ground.
We're doing another episode of Chris Dunne Won't Go to Therapy, and it's all right there. If you missed the last one, it's like I won't go to therapy for reasons that I guess I could examine on this podcast, but won't.
Well, that's that. Well, that's a problem then, isn't it?
Well, it is, but
it's the subject of the show.
It's good, but it's also nice that this isn't real therapy, so we can just kind of blow by it, you know. The goal is kind of superficially to fix me, but it's really just to kind of create funny content where we laugh at how fucking like stupid my life is. You know what I mean?
I have to say, I feel like, I think that, frankly, the value in this subcast,
yeah,
if you will,
that's great. It's great. That's great branding. I like it. It's great. It's
excellent. Good. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's very expedient. Saves a lot of time.
So the premise of this subcast, I think, is what gives it its value. And its value, I believe, lies in something deeper than simple humor. But in your openness, encouraging other people to explore their own neuroses.
Yeah.
And that through your public exploration of the things that you struggle with, reaching out to others who struggle with similar things and telling them that they're not alone.
Right.
There's incredible value in that, which is why I commend your bravery for doing this.
Well, thank you.
I'm saying this like it's a bit, but I do actually believe the things I'm saying. Like, I do actually think that, like,
you're using
the last
your fake
episode,
therapist voice. But
the last episode, I was like, wow, Chris is really opening up a lot here. And then on the Discord server, people were talking about how much they related to what you were saying. And I was like, that's great. That's, like, awesome. So I actually believe what I'm saying right now, and I'm trying to make it sound like, wouldn't it be hilarious if I felt that actually there's something to be gained from you speaking openly about your mental health struggles publicly?
Yeah, like your tone of voice implies that there's a punchline coming, but I don't think there is.
No, there isn't.
I agree. I think I was really happy with that last one. Yeah.
Yeah, and so based on the analytics, it has
good
potential.
Yeah,
the analytics show potential, and I think that there's reason to believe.
What better reason is there to fix my brain?
I can't think of
there's
one.
fucking cash involved for me. I fucking gamed the system. People are out there paying like $200-300 a week for therapy. I'm getting it for free from my fucking friend who did a lot of acid in the early 2000s.
Well,
and I'm getting paid for it.
Well, you know, I have to say, yeah. I'm sorry, I got distracted when you said
acid floaters.
By the acid. I'm sorry, I was trying to respond to what you were saying, but I'm flashing back now. And I'm realizing something that's getting in the way of feeling like I'm prepared, and that is that I'm overheating in a dirty hoodie.
Right. You don't.
When
look
I
enough
should
like a
be,
therapist.
I should be dressed like a therapist right now. I'm not in character.
Do you want to like pause and like throw on like a turtleneck or something?
Look, we don't have to pause. I'm just gonna really quick throw on my turtleneck.
Okay.
I don't have a turtleneck,
But you'll find something. I'm sure you'll put on a very smart little outfit.
A preset. I already have a sweater over a button down.
Okay, good. Yeah.
The button down shirt stays inside the sweater when I take it off.
That's awesome, dude.
So I'll be right back.
All right, man.
it's like a goth Arthur Reed costume that I put on.
Oh, I can't wait to see it.
And
I think I've probably seen it actually.
Yeah.
You see, I think I
It's
know
goth
what that
Arthur
is.
Reed. Everybody
Yeah.
that's like my signature look over the past couple of years.
I've never put it together as that, but it is a very funny way of identifying it.
It's my cartoon character daily outfit. I wear it almost every day.
You
If
do.
I'm going out, I'm wearing that. Okay, I'll be right back.
All right. Will's gonna put his costume on. That's yeah. You just look at you. Oh, this guy makes a decent amount of money per year. This is a professional with a career. Oh, look at him rolling up his little sleeves with like the shirt collar over the sweater. Oh, look at him. He's making therapist eyebrows right now. He's holding his face in the way that a therapist would.
So,
Yes.
yeah, as Chris was saying, if being a podcaster doesn't work out for me, I'll help people.
Right. Yeah.
I'll save people from themselves. If
That's
being
so
a
funny to
podcaster
do
is
like
too difficult.
as a backup career. It's like
yeah, because one of them is clearly significantly more difficult.
right. That's the funny thing is if my fucking deeply narcissistic dreams don't work out,
Right.
then it's time to help people.
Right.
But only if my fucking only if like the career that I want that children want doesn't like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like being an artist is fundamentally selfish.
Yes.
Is I think what is the joke I'm making.
Mm.
And it's funny to be like, well, if that doesn't work out, then and only then will I fucking descend from the mountain and finally tell these people what they need to hear.
I just like the idea of going backwards in terms of how much qualification you need to do what you do.
Right. Exactly. It's my backup thing requires a doctorate that I don't have.
Yeah.
My backup requires me paying for grad school.
My backup plan is to be more successful.
Yeah, you didn't finish college.
No.
Like, you need to get 2 more degrees at least.
Yeah. I bet a lot of my credits are expired now.
Yeah, probably. You would have to start over.
I dropped out many years ago.
Yeah.
And most of those
man.
credits I got even more years ago because the last year I don't think I passed any classes.
We also went to William Patterson, and I feel like they just didn't keep track of that stuff.
No.
They just like when it came time to count how many credits you had, there was just like a guy with a bunch of dice who just kind of like
There was a wizard with an abacus.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's just when it's wrong, they just kind of hope you don't notice.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's a guy with a top hat and some chicken bones.
Just like
Fucking a dude with a dartboard.
yeah.
What other bad ways
I
of
was
keeping
thinking
track of
dartboard
credits?
first, but I was like, that doesn't make enough sense. Dice. Okay,
Oh,
sure.
I mean, dartboard's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just
Tarot.
yeah.
This is a different
big spinning wheel.
Yeah,
like a Wheel
dude.
of Fortune
Like a
style
fucking
thing.
Wheel of Fortune. Which is, does this kid get to fucking graduate, or does he have to take Spanish again?
You said tarot. I think that's a good move. I also think palm reader. They might have
Palm
had
reader
a
would be
palm
good.
reader who took a look at the lines in your palm and said, I think that is enough for your general education requirement for mathematics based on the line under your thumb.
Right.
You have 4 extra credits here on your
I this is a quick digression. I told you about this. I'm thinking about learning how to do tarot
Mhm.
as research for a chapter for Revelator.
Yeah.
But I also think it would be really fun to do on the podcast. Like if I
yeah.
earnestly learn tarot.
Oh,
then,
that would
like,
be amazing.
That'd be a great bit for the podcast.
Dude, if we started doing tarot and the Estes method with the spirit
Oh,
box,
yeah.
like we would have segments for the
we
show.
would just have segments, yeah.
Which we could something we could do live if we ever get around to doing
Oh
it
god, I
live.
gotta learn tarot so I could fucking bring people up on stage.
Oh my
god, that would be so good. I am
Dude,
learning tarot.
That is so good. Holy shit, dude, you
Oh,
gotta
that would be
learn tarot.
incredible. I have to learn tarot.
You
now.
have to.
I have to become a legit psychic.
It's too good of an idea.
Yeah.
It would be unethical to not follow
Gotta
through.
fucking do it, dude.
Holy shit.
Gotta learn how to commune with the spirits.
Yeah. Hell yeah. All right, so we've got 2 segments. Now we can do a live life from the world to come.
Hell yeah.
All you have to do is, we got a live show now. We
I think that,
answer like an audience question, tarot, Estes method, audience question, the end.
I mean, look, it's been a couple months since we did the screening. I could use a quick fucking 6 Gs, you
Well-
know, just like just
You said 6 Gs, and I pictured your face being blown back in a fucking jet fighter. I was like, 6 Gs. You know, it's maybe too early to be announcing this, but we are doing another screening.
Oh yeah,
That
we
is
haven't
booked.
talked about. Oh, that got booked. I don't know if
Yeah.
you ever told me about that.
Oh yeah, no, it got booked.
Okay, well that's good to know. It's
Yeah.
good to know that I have obligations for a thing at some point.
I told
at a
you
point
this,
in
I
time.
told you what the dates were.
Did you? I have no memory of this.
Yeah, I forget
I
what
have
the dates
absolutely zero memory of
Well,
of
they're in
talking about a second.
they're in
but
mid-January.
that's great news. I would like to do that again.
They're in mid-January,
Okay,
and they're
I think I'll be around in mid-January.
and they're somewhere on the East Coast.
Yeah.
I think one of them is in Maryland.
Oh, that's fun. No, yeah, no, I zero
I
recollection.
don't remember where the
You
other
did
one is.
Not tell me about this.
The other one in Pennsylvania or Virginia?
Yeah, no, this is
My
like a road
booking
trip.
agent would be so mad at me for how little I know about the
Right,
things I
we're
committed
straight
to.
up talking about it.
Yeah.
Like we're straight up. We're like announcing. We're announcing it. This is an announcement.
I guess
and
so.
we don't know when it is or where. And I didn't even know that it was a thing. Like,
Well,
all right. Well, I guess like look forward in the future at some point. I guess soon.
Look, if-
January is soon.
I mean that's I feel like that's enough information for people who live in the general central East Coast to
Yeah.
be like, maybe I'll go to one of these.
yeah.
I don't know. I think it also depends on how they go, because we might end up doing things in different locations. Wait, is one of them in Pittsburgh?
I
Oh,
don't know.
I don't remember where they are at all.
This is again the
Pittsburgh-
first I've heard of this.
Pittsburgh is
I've been like in
basically
my mind
Ohio.
going, "Wow, I really hope we do another one of these screenings soon. I could use some money." But like,
Oh, we're doing them.
fucking yes, good. I need cash fast.
We're doing 2 in a row.
awesome.
Two
man.
different locations.
Okay.
That's a weekender.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah, sure, dude.
I have to figure out how to fix some shit in order to be ready for that.
Yeah, man.
I'm
We
not
should probably
ready.
Get on it. Yeah, no, I mean,
There was, when we did the screening, I don't know if we talked about it afterward. There was a portion where the video just cut out for like 10 seconds.
yeah, no, we have to. we gotta fix.
We can't
that.
just keep letting that happen.
Yeah, no, I mean, we made it fun, but like it,
Yeah.
it can't be like a thing.
No,
No.
it can't. Anyway. Yeah, so I guess Chris and I made a movie. We're doing a screening of it. We did one a few months
Pew, pew,
ago.
big announcement.
We're gonna do
fireworks.
We're gonna do a couple more in a couple months. Who knows where?
Who knows where or when? It's a big mystery.
Maybe it's Pittsburgh.
It's fun. Just throughout the month of January, just start showing up at venues in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
I don't know if it's
Just-
Pittsburgh.
But yeah, but that's part of the. That's the little twist.
it might be
that's
Washington,
the fun
DC.
ARG twist is that we tell them that it's Pittsburgh, but it's actually an entirely different city.
I do feel like it's Pittsburgh. I do feel like it's Pittsburgh. I feel like we're doing Pittsburgh and DC, which is a weird
It
pair.
is.
They're very far away from each other, but I feel like that's what we're doing, but
Okay.
I don't know that.
All right.
Yeah.
It's so funny that this is the first I'm hearing.
Could
of
also be like DC and Richmond. I don't know.
it. It could be. I
That
don't
would
know
make more
either.
sense than Pittsburgh and DC, but like who knows?
Again, first I'm hearing of it, so I have no way of knowing.
Well, get pumped because
I
we're
am.
doing some
It's good to
screenings and I have no idea where.
Exactly. Like to be determined where and when. But money has been put down. It is locked in.
No money's been put down.
Oh, okay.
No, nothing's been signed. No money's been put down.
Okay, but we have like a.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't rent these theaters.
Okay.
It's not the same. It's not the same situation.
All
This
right,
is being booked
interesting.
like a traditional show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So like we're getting a cut of tickets. We're not renting the theater.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Nice.
So we could cancel at any time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we won't because again, I need that money.
Okay.
I would love to have that money.
Okay. Cool.
I want to be
know.
able to buy cheeseburgers and not have panic attacks.
I'm going to
cheeseburger related panic attacks lately.
I'm going to Disney World right after this, so I'm going to need the money too. Anyway, you said cheeseburger related panic attacks, and I remembered that we were currently in a therapy session.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
So
in a therapy session, you just have to like stop for like 7 to 10 minutes to just plug stuff. You know,
that's true. Yeah.
The therapist has to take the session to a screeching halt to do a bad job of plugging a show.
I think it's really interesting
Right.
the way that it seems like we've really uncovered a lot about the way you seem to relate with women versus the way you relate with men.
Okay.
And the types of relationships that you've had with them and how that relates to relationships with your parents. So I really think that that I should acknowledge, that this session was brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends.
Oh God! Just wait 5 years. Like,
yeah, 4 tops.
Yeah.
Frankly, I bet that's already happening on BetterHelp.
I mean, well, they're already they're just being sponsored by Big Pharma. It's like it's not.
Oh,
it's
that's
not.
true.
Would you like to try Raid Shadow Legends? It's like, would you like to try Lexapro? Just like,
Yeah.
The
first psychiatrist I ever went to, the inside of his office looked like a fucking NASCAR vehicle. It was so covered in fucking logos. Like it was crazy, and it was all the same medication. He had a mouse pad, a poster, fucking cards and sample packs all laying out for Trintellix.
I feel like if you have all that, then you can never prescribe anyone Trintellix.
Yeah.
Like the second you prescribe someone Trintellix, they're like, okay,
Yeah.
this guy is selling me out right now.
Hey, what do you think he prescribed me?
Trintellix?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
You know what I didn't take?
Trintellix?
Exactly.
Yeah, man. No,
yeah,
good.
no, I went to a different psychiatrist.
You can't.
I'm going to the cool psychiatrist I have who says I can do acid. So how are you today, Chris?
I mean, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of like just in the sort of general neutral that I spend most of my time in.
What's been going on?
Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
I've just been kind of playing Cyberpunk, and I'm sure that other stuff has kind of been happening kind of peripherally around that. Like, I'm sure at some point I've been like eating and sleeping and like doing like work so that I can pay rent. But it's just mostly like the Cyberpunk feels like it's the important part. You know?
Why is it important?
Because V's got a fucking chip in her brain. She's going to die if I don't fix it, you know?
Right.
Like, I got to get out there. Like, it's the fucking stakes are high.
So you really care about this V character, huh?
Well, I care about her to the extent that like it's really fun to shoot people in the head as her. I think that's maybe a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I play that game and I feel like bad.
Okay.
I do stuff and then I feel bad.
Right.
It's like I kind of like I wander into a group of dudes with little yellow arrows above their heads, which means it's okay to slaughter them in cold blood. And there will be no repercussions.
Right.
In fact, you will be paid money for it
Right.
more likely than anything.
Uh-huh.
It's like walk into a group of these dudes, just like eviscerate them in the most brutal way possible. And the way that I feel afterwards, I'm like, this is not good. Like,
Right.
you shouldn't. This is like. It's like this is a visual bit, but like I'll go through it and like the face I'm making after it is just that, you know.
Okay, you look distressed.
it's not. It's colder than that. It's like this like weird intense just like. You know what? Let me try the face a second time, and I'm gonna make a very subtly different change.
Okay.
You see, it's not like it's more like. You know what I mean? Like
it's almost a wince.
There's like there's a little bit of a smile there too.
Okay.
Like there's a darkness to it.
Okay.
It feel like you know what it's like it's a weird feeling to like shoot 3 guys in the head and then like whip out a katana and then stop time and then like do like a charge attack where I leap across the room and like slice a guy's head off, and then immediately, again, time is still stopped. I launch to like 3 other guys, stab them all in the gut. Like one, I do like a finishing move where like I drive my sword through his stomach, and then like his like guts fall out. And then by the end of it, I'm like, oh yeah, I needed that. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
Yeah.
I can't help but notice that you included a lot of detail in your description.
Well, because I wanted the point I'm trying to make is that like I feel like it's dark. You know what I mean?
What makes you feel like it's dark, other than like the content of what's being simulated? I mean, it is, undeniably dark events occurring, but is it something that's what makes you think that it's dark inside you?
Well, because like it's not like this like video game thing where it's like, good, I am executing the skills of this game competently, and that is where the endorphin rush is coming from. I feel like the endorphin rush is coming from more of like a yeah, you bitch kind of place.
You feel like it's coming from a place of anger?
I'm bullying these algorithms is what's happening. It might be coming from a place of anger, but like it's simpler and more childlike than that, I think.
It sounds like it's almost a matter of dominating.
Yeah. like I can't control my own life, but I can end theirs.
That's a very interesting observation.
It feels like it feel. You know what? It's very interesting, kind of like from like a ludonarrative perspective within the game. Because it's like my character has cyberpsychosis.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like within the plot of the game, like cyberpsychosis is like when you've put too much robot stuff in your body. And now you're just like, you're freaking out. You kill people for no reason. Right. And like, I'm role playing as a character with that.
Right. Okay.
You know, I'll just walk up to like, that's the thing is like, not all the dudes with like little yellow arrows over your heads are going to try to kill you. Sometimes I'll just like walk up to them and just get in their shit and just wait for them to fuck with me. You know, so I have an excuse in the video game. Okay. In the video game, I'm waiting for them to fuck with me first so that I can show them that was a bad idea.
Interesting.
This collection of math problems, I want to show it. I want this collection of math problems to understand that fucking with me was stupid. Like, you know what? That's kind of what it comes down to.
Okay.
I think the worry is that if I ever got like really good with a katana and had time stop powers, that I would be a bully about it. It's I think what this is circling around.
Okay. See, yeah, that's what I was looking to kind of explore a little bit.
Yeah.
Is that you've grown attached to V, and you referred to the rest of your life as being peripheral to this game, and it seems as though we've uncovered that you have something, that you have some interest in the dominating feeling that you get from showing these math problems who's boss, as you put it.
Yeah.
Or that fucking with you was a bad idea. And now you're also saying that you intentionally put yourself in positions to provoke people who you can then dominate.
Yeah.
So,
you know, they're minding their own business. I kind of get right in their face until they get pissed off, and then I shoot them and all their friends in the head.
You're picking fights.
Yeah.
You're picking fights. But you're keeping them in the virtual.
Yeah. I would never do this in real life.
You
but
don't...
then again, I don't own a katana.
Okay.
So, like...
Do you feel as though if you owned a katana, you would do similar things?
Well, no, but then again, I don't have time stop powers.
Okay. Do you feel like if you had time stop powers?
This is what it is. I think if I had time stop powers... I would be a vigilante.
Okay.
I wouldn't be killing random people on the street.
That's good.
I did do that once in the game just to see how many I could get. But but I did it once and I saved before I did it, so it didn't count.
Right.
You know? I wouldn't do that, but I would be a cop, which is bad. Like, because that's what in Cyberpunk, like the missions where you just like get to like rove into like a group of people and like slaughter them without thinking about it. Those are all the ones that are given to you by cops.
Yes,
those are the cop missions. So I guess I would be like, I guess what I'm circling around here is like, I wouldn't hurt anyone who didn't come after me, but the people I was hurting, I would be doing it for the wrong reasons. You know what I mean? Like I would only be killing bad guys, but I would be having a little bit too much fun doing it.
What are those reasons?
Because it's just fun. I don't know if that's the kind of thing that we can even unpack. I think it's like primal.
I think it's primal.
It feels good to shoot guys in the head.
Okay.
It sucks to say. But you fucking line up a shot and just ping, and then they're gone. You know what I mean? That rules, dude. Especially, again, if you can stop time and then ping like 8 guys and then they all fall to the ground simultaneously, that's a fucking rush, man.
And you feel like this is primal. You feel like this is something that's
It could be.
essentially hardwired into people in general, or specifically you?
I don't know.
Primal has a connotation of it being a universal or biological process. So I'm curious to know if you feel like that's a universal experience.
Well, I don't know. I think it I don't know. Yeah. I don't know, man.
I'm struggling. I'm
It's kind of
struggling
like
with doing the therapist thing here,
right.
because I feel like I was just like trying to poke at you to see if I could get you to say something fucked up.
Right.
But like,
Well, I feel like I did. But like,
I mean, or maybe it's just fucked up that I didn't realize that you did then, because all I was thinking to myself was like, yeah, I mean, like I agree. It's probably something primal. It's probably something in human nature that we enjoy making people's heads explode in simulations.
Well, you can say that too. That's also the kind of thing a therapist would say.
Oh yeah.
You don't have. It's not improv. There's
Okay,
no rules.
you're
You don't
right.
have to like. It's not yes and, but instead of yes and, it's like only questions.
All right. Well, hold on a second. Let me. How do I want my character to respond to that? Shut the fuck up! Don't tell me how to do my goddamn job.
Okay. You're the one with the degree. I actually like this angle. You're like one of those tough therapists.
Okay, that's what we're doing today.
Yeah.
We're doing tough love therapists.
Last time you were kind of like like sitting with one leg over the other, kind of pontificating therapist. Now you're like bro therapist. You know,
All right.
You know, like
All right,
one of
dude.
those bro therapists.
All right, dude. Hold on. I'm gonna get into the other chair. Hold on.
Oh yeah, no, the other chair is definitely better for bro
Sit on
therapy.
it backwards?
Exactly. Yeah, you can flip it around.
Yeah. All right, we're doing tough love bro therapist this week. Oh, that feels good.
Yeah, it feels good.
Straddling this chair backwards like that feels real.
You're about to rap at me about my mental health.
All right.
Let's have a quick conversation about fucking getting your brain right.
All right. So I'll level with you.
Yeah.
It's obviously nothing healthy about in any real world situation blowing somebody's brains out.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And, there's something to be said. Maybe sometimes getting a little too into simulated violence is a sign that something's up in your life and there's something to work through. But I'd say it's probably pretty natural for there to be a certain kind of thrill in simulated violence.
Yeah.
Think about our ancestors. Used to run through the forest naked, chasing down wild boar, stabbing them with rocks, ripping them to shreds with their canines and incisors, and eating them raw. That's you.
That is kind of a part of it where it's like, yes, the hunt.
Yes.
But the hunt is man.
Right.
And the fact that they're simulated almost feels incidental in my brain.
Okay.
Where it's like, or I don't know. It's probably that's like way too much, actually.
No,
it's not
we can
like that.
explore that. We can explore that. Tell me more.
I would know, like, because now I feel like I'm implying I would actually do this, and I don't want that to be like the. I very much would not do this. But like, yeah, like it's it's like this, like it's why I think it worries me is because I'm in the game and I'm just like I go for like one of the little like blue boxes that represents like the NCPD missions that are, again, you just like walk into like an open area with a bunch of bad guys in it and you just kill all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And like I'm just like I'm going from I go to one, I do it, I go to the next closest one, I do it, I go to the next closest one, I do it, and I'm just like this is the experience I'm having right now is like it's putting me in exactly the same headspace as a serial killer, because like I see all of these people I'm killing as not being human because they're a computer program,
right.
But like if I was a serial killer, it would be the exact same thing. I would just not see them as human because I'm a serial killer.
Interesting.
So that's the, like it's like with there's that like the only like it's not real, but like my brain is firing right in those moments in the exact ways that a serial killer's brain would fire. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. Interesting. So why do you think you chase that feeling?
Oh fuck, dude. Like I don't know.
I mean, aside from the obvious, it's a thrill to do crazy stuff in a video game, right? But, why do you think that you personally feel like referring to everything other than this while you're at it
Right.
as being peripheral? Or rather, why you're opening up
more
little
than
blue
that.
pots in your kitchen and not addressing the mold in them, and instead spending your time
Well, I think that-
dominating zeros and ones.
Well, I think that's the issue, right? Is that in Cyberpunk, I have 4 cars, 2 houses, and am really good at using guns and swords.
Mm.
And in real life, I have a blue pot in my kitchen that has something growing in it. Who knows what?
Right.
Science is yet to say.
Right. So,
Like,
I'm losing the thread of it. I got to be real. I'm getting too self-conscious with bro therapist. He's not me.
I'll be honest, I kind of hate him.
Yeah.
It's
He's
not
pissing me
you,
off.
it's the character. Yeah. It's
No, he's
like,
pissing me off.
I've had a couple of bro therapists, and I've never stayed for more than one session. They immediately put me off.
Okay, so let's try. All right, I'm going to switch things up again. Sit back down.
I love imagining you as like a real therapist doing this. It's like, I'm sorry, it's my first day. I'm trying to figure out what kind of this I am.
Okay, hold on. So we've spoken at some length about the sensation of dominance this gives you.
Dude.
And when talking about dominance, it's hard to ignore the involvement of serotonin in the role of rewarding dominant behavior and encouraging it in your neurology.
Right.
Think about this. What does a dominant individual do? What does he do?
Probably gets like a katana.
He might get a katana.
Yeah.
He might chop up criminals.
Okay.
He might clean his kitchen, bucko.
Right. I don't know. I look.
Now,
like some of the apartments V gets, they're pretty dirty.
well, that's what I was going to say next.
And again, and they have a sword. So
Oh, this V
and he's
character.
pretty cool at using it.
This V character who you've become
Yeah.
so attached to,
Yeah, they're me. Yeah.
they're you.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're not like they're not me, but they're more real to me than I am at this point. Yeah.
So,
Like the character I'm
Sucks.
playing isn't like me, but like they're the important one at this point. I care about their life. Because again, they have like 3 cars and stuff, and I don't. I only got the one and it barely works. So I might as well put my investment into that life because it's just going better. You know what I mean? This person has a fucking Keanu Reeves death ghost eating their brain, and I'm still like, I want to be them. Like,
okay.
because they're not long for this world, but you know what? They have like a plan to deal with their problems. You know?
It is crazy how well Jordan Peterson just worked on you. It just started spilling out of you. I did Jordan Peterson, and you just immediately started addressing shit.
I don't know. I feel like it might have been a coincidence, but sure.
I don't think so. I said, I think he cleans his kitchen, bucko, and you immediately went, well, he's got a Keanu Reeves death ghost in his head, and he's doing better than me. Let's talk about this.
Well, I think that's why Jordan Peterson is effective as a therapist,
Yeah.
because you want to fight with him. Like he makes you want to engage.
Well, okay, so I'm just dropping all of the character work and all the acts.
Okay.
You know, I think that it interferes. It interferes, because clearly it sounds like it gets back to the old adage of God helps those who help themselves, and you have to want to change to
Right.
change. And it sounds like you do. It sounds like you just need a little bit of a push, and that in order to move forward and make progress in your life, what you need is somebody who believes in you enough to just tell you what it is, right? I mean, you heard Jordan Peterson just there.
Right.
He told you very, very plainly what he felt like you should do, and he gave you no doubts as to whether or not you were capable. And I think that's the reason why you responded the way you did.
Okay.
So, you know, say what you will about Dr. Peterson.
Yeah.
please. And but there is one thing to say in that he does not coddle. And sometimes there's some value in that. But also
I like the idea that it's
he's a
actually,
fascist.
You have like a team of therapists. You have a whole little council of therapists, and they're all working on me.
These are my alters.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I'm a therapist
Well,
with
I like
advanced
the idea
DID.
that you were just like commenting on something that Dr. Peter, not that you just said, that something that Dr. Peterson, a separate guy, just said.
Right,
A
yes.
separate guy who was also working on my brain. Like, there's jazz therapist, there's bro therapist, and Jordan Peterson, who are all collectively my therapist. They all work together to try and fix me.
So all right. So let's talk about how you felt
Yeah.
about V and V's life.
Okay.
Because you made it very clear, I think, and I think this is oftentimes the heart of situations like this,
Mm-hmm.
that V's simulated life was more fulfilling than your real world life. Would you
Right.
say that that's accurate?
Yeah. I mean, in the short term, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, look, I'm not so deranged as to be like the video game is more important than my actual life.
Mm-hmm.
But I am enjoying playing that video game more than I am enjoying most other things.
Well, I suppose that that does raise the question, right? And that is, what makes you think it would be deranged for you to believe that the video game is more important than your life, when currently it would be hard for you to deny that, for all intents and purposes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that true? If you're valuing it more than your life at the moment, whether or not you consciously label it as being worth more than your real life.
Right. I mean, well, I guess I should look. I understand. Yeah, I guess that's a good point. Is that I understand intellectually that the game is not more important than my actual life, but that understanding has no effect on my actual physical behavior. You know?
Right.
Where it's I start to think about, oh man, there's I should be doing stuff right now. Immediately after I have that thought, I think it would be fun to play Cyberpunk right now.
Mm.
And then I just kind of ride that wave for 6 hours, you know?
Well, people have what we call core beliefs in the profession.
Okay.
And core beliefs are beliefs that we hold unconsciously. Ones that we're not always aware we have, but that underpin our decision making and our behavior day to day. And it sounds to me like this is an unconscious belief of yours.
Mm-hmm.
That regardless as to whether or not, as you said, you've intellectually labeled Cyberpunk as being more important than your life, you are valuing it more, and it is more important right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so the question that I have is not what makes Cyberpunk so important, because we've kind of talked about it. It's a thrill.
I mean, it's
fun.
fun. It's escapism.
Yes, exactly. Tell me more about that. What do you
just about escapism.
Well, what you feel you're escaping? Because the question isn't just why is Cyberpunk so important.
There's this pot in my kitchen that smells like shit. There's, but kind of actually,
right?
Where it's I could clean my it is. We kind of brushed up against this last. Kristen won't go to therapy. But it's like so many times throughout my day, I am given the opportunity to make the choice between cleaning my kitchen and doing literally anything else. And fucking cleaning my kitchen is batting 0. They're so bad at this game. They can't win.
Right.
You know? They're just they're just getting their ass kicked. They're fucking they can't get one good day.
Right.
You know? And I have no self-control. So the second I'm oh, Cyberpunk would be a better use of my time. Like, why would I question that thought? That's a great thought. That thought means I get to play Cyberpunk for like the next 6 hours.
Well, based on everything.
That's an incredible thought. Great thought, Chris. Incredible job.
Well, based on what you're saying right now, you clearly don't think it's a better thought.
But I do in the moment.
Yeah.
I'm so good at tricking. That's what you have to understand about my incredible brain. Is that I'm so good at tricking myself.
Right.
You know?
Okay.
I can make myself believe anything for like 6 hours.
Okay.
You know?
That's
And there will be like moments of like sheer red hot panic in those 6 hours, but they pass.
Okay.
And then I get to keep playing Cyberpunk.
And you withstand these moments of panic?
Yeah, I just kind of get through them.
And these are moments.
I just kind of muscle through it. Yeah.
And what are you thinking about during these panicked moments?
Ah! You know?
Okay.
It's just like
what
you're 30, you're dying. You know, like that stuff. Like,
okay. It's interesting you brought up your age.
It's too late to be good at art. That kind of thing.
Interesting.
You know?
You feel like you're running out of time?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Why is that?
Because I'm 30 and my brain is going away. Like it's just, I'm on the like it's so crazy that you just start feeling the fucking decline immediately. It's like it sucks. It sucks that like the second that you're not 27, your brain starts slowing down, but you can feel it. It might be all the weed too. It could be that I smoke so much weed, but I think it's the fact actually that I'm 30 that my brain isn't good anymore. I think it's that. You know what I mean?
So, let's talk about the weed.
No. No, that's off the table.
Welcome everybody
Fucking
to
safe word, banana bread.
Welcome everybody to Chris Dunne won't go to therapy. As your therapist, I can't say yes to that. If you say no, I won't talk about it. We can't talk about it. That's the end.
It's probably too much weed, but I'm invested in it at this point. It's like a lifestyle. It's like you know what I mean when I say that I'm invested in it.
No, I can't say that. I can't say that I do.
I don't believe you. I think you do know.
If I did, would that be important?
I don't know.
Would that be important?
What the fuck is that question? That's something I would say to a real therapist, but you're not, so I can say that. What? It's like, well, hey, Chris, what if you stopped smoking so much weed? What does that even mean? Like, that's kind of like my reaction. Is like, what? Because well, then what would I do? You know? Like, if I wasn't smoking weed, what would I be doing? Just watching TV not high? That's insane, Will.
I think you know the
stupid.
answer to that
You're
question.
a stupid therapist.
I think you know the answer to that question.
Uh-huh.
Clean that pot in your kitchen.
No. No, that would be way too easy. I would love that. I would love it if weed was the reason that pot is there, but it is unfortunately not.
What makes you confident? I mean, you just just finish saying you don't even know if you don't even see quitting smoking so much weed as an option.
Well, because I've been smoking weed on and off since I was 18. I've been not cleaning up messes since I came out the fucking womb. Okay. I have fucking 30 years experience with not putting my shit away and letting mold grow on stuff. Like that's been a part of my life way longer than weed.
Okay, but do you feel so? You don't feel that there's anything about marijuana that's preventing you from cleaning your kitchen and doing similar things?
Not cleaning the kitchen, at least.
Uh-huh.
I used to think it was getting in the way of me doing stuff, but like again, I'm good enough at weed at this point that I don't think it is.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Maybe actually kind of what I'm coming around, and this probably is the wrong conclusion to come to in therapy. But like now that I think the conclusion I'm coming to is no, you're too hard on yourself. You can smoke as much weed as you want, bud. You're doing great.
Well, that's a fair
Like-
that's a fair conclusion to reach if that is truly the healthy perspective.
I don't know.
for
I'm
you.
thinking about it. It's like, what is it actually? It's really just the expense. I think that's what it is. That's what I don't like about weed. Yeah, it's that it's an incredibly expensive habit, and I'm so powerful and strong that I go through a lot of it.
So,
Which sounds like me violently backtracking so that I don't have to stop smoking weed.
well,
But that is kind of the conclusion.
we
I'm
also
coming
weren't
to.
talking about what problem you have with the fact that you smoke weed.
Right.
So,
We kind of were. Don't give me that, oh, but you know what you said, therapist look. That's not, no. You're like, shut the fuck up, dude. No.
do you want to do this or not?
I don't even know what I'm supposed to say.
You're the one who brought up
That's
there being
why
a
I won't
problem.
go to therapy. It's just a therapist giving you a look. Where it's
Just a
like,
really
you know,
smug look.
Where it's like, you know the conclusion you're supposed to come to. It's like, I don't. And I don't think you do either. Like, I think you're giving me that look because you're hoping I'll come up with it in the moment.
Well, that is a tool.
Yeah,
That is
sure
a
it
tool in my advanced arsenal of therapeutic methods.
Yeah.
As a means of encouraging one of my clients to
Right.
come to a conclusion on their own terms.
One of the many techniques
to
you
give
learned
you-
at that mountain monastery.
is to give you an aggressively smug look to imply towards you that you're missing something.
Right.
See this look?
But that's a bad tool because if I'm missing something, then that doesn't help. Like, and it's just like, really, you're just making fun of me for being mentally ill. Is what's going on.
What do you want me to do on this comedy podcast about you being mentally ill?
No, I know. I think it's good. I think
Listen,
it's good content.
listen. We were just talking about, you saying you're the one, really, truly, who brought up the idea of it not being good.
Yeah.
That was your conclusion,
Right. But then I examined why I feel that way in my
Uh-huh.
head, and the conclusion I came to is because it's so expensive.
And you and
It's like I actually thought, like, if I just had free weed, I don't think I would be worrying about it. I think I would maybe worry about it because I'm supposed to worry about it.
Mhm.
But like, yeah, no, I don't really feel bad about the amount of weed I smoke. Like, it's not like the getting high that's the problem. Sometimes I'll get high in the middle of the day, and that's no good, and I feel guilty about that.
Mhm.
But like, not to an extent where I'm like, oh God, this is like this huge thing that's like getting in the way of my life. Like, the extent that it gets in the way of my life is that it's an incredibly expensive habit.
Well, I mean, I personally, as your therapist and your friend,
Right.
don't think that weed is the reason why you don't clean your kitchen.
Yeah. No, you have to go
Maybe
there.
as your therapist, I can believe that. As a human being who knows you in reality, I don't think that's the reason you don't clean your kitchen. I think that the reason you don't clean your kitchen is because you're clinically depressed.
Yeah.
But I would say that therapist or friend,
Mhm.
I would say that there is a chance that your clinical depression is not benefited by your use of marijuana.
Yeah, well, you might be right.
I would.
I don't. You know what it is that like there have been times when I have taken breaks from marijuana, usually to like try some kind of depression medication,
Mhm.
and it's usually like, oh, I'm like every time I take a break from marijuana, I'm like, oh, everything's gonna be fixed now.
Mhm.
Like, I'm gonna get all my shit together. I'm gonna do all this stuff, and it's like, no, like you're just like, I do all of the exact same stuff, just while not high. It's like I still like like it's regardless of whether or not I'm smoking weed, I'm still like I'm still playing too many video games or like watching too much stuff or whatever. Like the problem is not the weed. The problem is like just unending procrastination.
It's the practical
I'm not.
behavior.
It's like it's less than I am addicted to weed, but that's fine. Like the problematic addiction is like these kind of these short burst kind of. There's like a clinical name for it, and I forget what it is, but like these, it's like endorphin bursts of just of like of of just basically just like fucking the shit that we're all fucking doing now, which is just like laying on your back staring at a screen. That's what I'm addicted to.
Right.
I'm addicted to not doing the stuff that I need to get done.
Right. If I'm going to be your therapist in this, if I'm going to truly commit to the bit and actually talk about your problems in a way that is honest, there's going to be times where I think, I don't know, Chris, you might be smoking too much weed.
Oh yeah, dude, for sure. But like it's part of my it's part of my brand. It's part of my character. It's part of my charm. I feel like that's honestly that might actually be something.
Okay.
And again, and not that it's like that I'm like one of those guys that like smoking weed is part of their identity, but it's just like I don't know. It's like it's fucking nice to do something more than you should. You know what I mean? Like it feels good to have a vice.
Right.
Like my fucking tolerance for THC at this point is so high that like I feel like the thing that like I like doing is like having like basically a ritual I go through that tells my brain that I can relax. I forget if I had more of a point than that.
I forget too.
Yeah.
I forget where I was going to, because I have understated just how little sleep I got last night. I did not sleep enough.
How's your sleep schedule been?
That's none of your business. I'm your therapist.
All right.
That's none of your business.
Okay, well, I've been going to bed at 6.
I've been fine, Chris. How about your sleep schedule?
6 a.m. The last couple of nights, 6 a.m.
Yeah, I mean, I was up to like 8.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive. Respect.
And then I slept till like 1.
Yeah, no,
it's not enough sleep.
Well, I don't know. I went to bed at like 5, 6. No, 6. I went to bed at 6 last night and got up at 11. So that's 5 hours.
5 hours.
That's not
we
enough
both
sleep.
didn't get enough sleep.
That's not enough sleep. I wonder if that has anything to do with it. I should keep smoking weed and sleep more. I think is what it should be.
Well, I mean, like honestly, that could also be it.
I think that is part. Like I do need to sleep more.
Studies
I would
have
love
shown,
to sleep more.
Studies have shown that 3 days in a row of 6 hours of sleep or less has similar cognitive impact to staying up all night once.
It feels about right.
If you pull an all-nighter, then the next day you will have similar cognitive difficulties as someone who had 6 hours of sleep 3 nights in a row, which is a very common thing to have 6 hours of sleep and no more very frequently.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. Maybe you need to sleep more.
Maybe I need to sleep more. I think what happens...
Maybe you're not lazy enough.
I think I could be. Because like... Because honestly, like what happens is it'll be like 3 a.m. and I'll be like sleepy enough that I could maybe go to sleep. But I like the gut instinct I think is like, that would be a waste of time. There's so much like there. When else are you gonna play Cyberpunk during the day? Yes, but also you have to do it now. You know what I mean? Like
you've expressed something like this to me before, where you've said that like that the night feels indefinite to you.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate more on that? Can you tell me,
there's a phrase that people are using for it now that I forget what it's called, but the idea is that like you're basically you stay up way too late at night just like scrolling and like watching stuff and just kind of doing self-indulgent things as a way of like making up for the time that you weren't the time that you lost during the day that you weren't able to do that stuff. Which I relate to a lot. Like I feel like a big part of why I don't go to sleep until like my body shuts down is like I don't know. It's like nighttime feels like a time of day where you can do whatever you want and it's fine.
Interesting.
And then I don't want that to end. So I just kind of keep doing that until it's tomorrow. And I can't argue that it's not tomorrow because the sun is up and I can hear my neighbors. You know what I mean?
So what is it that makes you feel like there's no rules as to what you can or can't do at night? It sounds like you're saying that
Well,
there's
because
a
it's
social
the end of the
explanation.
day. I'm
Okay.
winding down
Uh-huh.
for like 7 hours, you know,
Okay.
from like 7 a.m. Till like 7 at night until like 6 in the morning. I'm winding down for the evening.
Okay.
Which is the perfect time of day because like you can just relax.
It sounds
You
like
can smoke weed and not feel like this is a bad time to be smoking weed. It's the middle of the night. That's when you're supposed to smoke weed. You know, you can watch TV. Don't have to feel bad about watching TV because it's the middle of the day, because it's not the middle of the day. It's the middle of the night. You know what I mean?
Of course. No,
Yeah.
there's in our society, it's more accepted to smoke weed at night and to unwind at night and during the day to do the things that you have to do.
Right. And to be clear, I'm also smoking weed and unwinding during the day, but I feel worse about it.
Well, that's
Like that's
right.
the thing, is like, 'cause I'm like, oh, I should be doing stuff right now. But then once the sun goes down, I'm like, it's my time to do the stuff that I was also doing during the day.
So that's an interesting thing. That's an interesting thing that we've run into here, is that you talk about how at night it feels like you're making up for lost time during the day.
Right. But I'm not. Like,
Well,
yeah.
are you not? If you're,
Kinda, I guess.
if during the day you're doing the same things,
Right.
but feeling bad about them.
I guess that is kind of what it is because, like, I will look, because, yeah, I can wake up tomorrow morning and just slide back into my cyberpunk chair
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of jack back into Night City. But I will feel guilty about it.
Right.
And until I go to bed, I won't feel guilty about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Right.
Because this is me time. The night is me time. The morning is responsibility time.
Right.
And if I just make the night last until it is day, you know?
Would you feel like you...
I made a cheeseburger at 4 a.m. last night.
That's so cool.
Yeah, dude. It was fucking good.
That's so cool. I'm not gonna lie, that's so cool.
Cool, 'cause
I know it's not the therapist thing to say, but like that's awesome, dude. There's not a hint of sarcasm in there.
I made a fucking good ass cheeseburger
Fuck yeah.
at like 7 p.m. and then at 1 in the morning I was like really hungry again. I was like, okay, I'm gonna finish up this cyberpunk session and then make myself another cheeseburger.
Hell yeah, dude.
And then go to bed.
Fuck yeah.
Fucking go to bed full of cheeseburger. And then I did the cyberpunk session, and then I looked at the clock and it was 4 in the morning. And I was like, well, I already, again, like in my mind, I committed to making the cheeseburger. So I'm just going to make this fucking cheeseburger. It was fucking good. I had it on a bagel, which seems like a weird choice, but it fucking worked
awesome.
and fucking covered that motherfucker in jalapenos.
Oh,
so
shit.
many. I made like I fucking 4x4 grid of pickled jalapenos atop the slice of cheese. So many jalapenos, which is apparently how I like it.
Damn, dude.
It was so good.
I'm hungry.
It was, and I did this at 4, and it was from I got the fucking wagyu ground beef from Costco.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it's real wagyu, but it fucking cries like a baby when you put it on the pan. So much fucking juice comes out of that motherfucker. If it's not wagyu, then they're just like injecting beef fat into ground beef, and that's also sick as hell. So like, I'll take it, man.
So,
Yeah, so what does that say about my mental health?
it says you're a fucking baller and you don't need to
Thank
change
you.
a thing.
Awesome, dude. I love that for me.
What it says to me is I have the same question that I had before
Right.
this.
Yeah.
And that is that if you were spending your day fulfilling the responsibilities that might be expected of you by society, or that you might be expecting of yourself, that's leading you to feel guilty about smoking weed and playing video games during the day.
Right.
If you were to spend your day doing those things, would you still feel like you have things to make up for at night? Would you still feel like you had lost time?
Honestly, probably not.
Right.
Because I think I would just be happier in general. Like I would feel if I was like getting stuff done during the day and like felt fulfilled about it, I might feel less need to like create like cheap alternatives to that fulfillment at night.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an interesting observation. Do you think do you think that you're afraid of losing something?
Losing what, you think?
Well, by switching your focus to
Mhm.
spending your day fulfilling either socially expected or personally preferred obligations or responsibilities or self-care, do you feel like you'd be missing something if you shifted your focus to that
Like in a tortured artist kind of way?
in any way that you might
Honestly,
feel it?
no.
No?
I think I'm just bad, and I do bad things that are bad for me. I honestly like? I think I'm not, because again, like I'm not really. I've never really like been one of those guys who like, oh yeah, no, I have to be in intense pain in order to work. Like I have to be fucked up or I'm not as good. No, I do my best work when I'm in a good mood. Like when I'm
Right.
like happy and stable is like when I am is when stuff flows out of me the easiest.
Well, I think it's interesting because I didn't do a very good job explaining what I meant when I asked that, and I wanted it to be kind of open-ended the way I meant it.
Okay.
Because because the question is, would you feel like you'd be missing something or losing out on something if you focused on self-care and responsibilities during the day instead of focusing on the things that you find yourself focusing on that trouble you? It's a general question. Would you be missing something? Would you be losing out on something? What are you afraid of not having anymore if you spend that time doing the things that you, as you put it, have to do? And it's interesting that that your mind went to art, that your mind went
Right.
to your identity as an artist, because that says to me that your creative side is something that's extremely important to you.
Yeah.
And
He said begrudgingly.
yeah, that tone.
Just fine,
God,
sure.
God damn it.
Like I've said it before, I love art, hate artists.
Mm.
You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, you are an artist.
It sucks. Yeah, it's my least attractive quality.
And that's the question I have to ask.
Right.
Is you hate artists,
Uh-huh.
and your obligation is to create art.
I mean, I also have like a real day job, but like I guess, yeah.
So
But it's also one I don't get a terrible amount of fulfillment out of. So yeah, I guess, yeah. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? I'm kind of forget.
I missed a word in what you were saying,
Right.
and so I didn't hear what you said.
Yeah, so you just
and so I
nodded
just
like a
decided to
therapist,
nod
yeah.
and keep going so that you would just say more things, and then I would figure out what
Yeah,
you
but
said.
I also got confused about what I was saying.
I'm so tired, dude.
Yeah, me too, dude.
I
I really want my therapist to say that to me. I'm sorry, I didn't fucking sleep last night.
Why did you say I'm sorry, man?
I'm so fucking tired. Fuck. Oh, God. Can we wrap this up? I have therapy after this.
I mean, you have more obligations and more responsibilities than to just create.
Yeah.
But do you feel like if you spent your day creating instead of smoking weed or playing video games, and instead of cleaning your kitchen,
Right.
would you be fulfilled?
If I could, yeah.
What
Like-
makes you feel like you can't?
Because it's hard.
Mm.
Like, and I can't really control. Like, I've never really been able to like control the tap on my creativity.
Mm-hmm.
This is the thing that terrifies me about Revelator, is that those first 3 chapters just flowed out of me so effortlessly.
Mm-hmm.
And chapter 4 took me like 3 months, and I'm still just kind of dancing around the edges of chapter 5.
Mm-hmm.
So like, you know, like if when I was still in that phase where I was like writing those first 3 chapters and it was all effortless, I would have immediately been like, oh yeah, dude, like I would love to get to do, if like my only obligation was writing, that would be heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Now I feel like if my only obligation was writing, I would spend a lot of time smoking weed and playing video games. But I don't know, like but maybe that's not true. Maybe if I felt like the only thing because again, like I get stuck in this like weird cycle
Mm-hmm.
where it's like, yeah, I would love to write right now, but I also have like programming work to do. And I also have, but in addition to that programming work, I also have to clean my kitchen, and I also have to edit the podcast. And that's, so like doing any one of those things feels like I'm neglecting one of the other things. like I can't put them in a hierarchy in my head. Like they all like kind of exist equally. And so no matter what I'm doing, I feel like I'm not doing something. So if I'm going to feel like I'm not doing something, I might as well feel like that while high and playing Cyberpunk.
Right. If you're going to feel like you're not doing anything, you might as well not do anything.
Right. Not do anything. Enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah. But it sounds like you're not enjoying not doing anything, that it's causing you unhappiness.
I'm enjoying it enough.
Okay.
I don't think that happiness is like this like yes or no thing. I might not, it's not giving me happiness, but it is giving me like, again, like short bursts of like endorphins and serotonin. And that's fine. That's good. I like that.
But it doesn't
that
seem...
feels good in my brain when that happens, you know?
But it doesn't seem to be...
I'm chasing a high is what's going on.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
We are talking about your drug problem.
Right.
We are trying to address your drug problem, Chris. You have a drug problem. That's a very funny way of saying
the drug problem that I have, that I'm part of a fucking membership rewards points program at my local dispensary.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
In order for us to be able to run this podcast for 60 episodes,
Yeah.
we need to be able to talk about 60 things.
Right.
And that means we're going to have to make some progress here.
Okay. Oh God, am I willing to commit to the bit to that extent? It's like,
I just don't want to run out of shit to talk about.
Do I commit to the bit to an extent where I improve my mental health? That sucks. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, but wouldn't that actually be a very interesting podcast?
That would be pretty funny. Like,
where the podcast is you pretend to go to therapy so hard that it works.
Yeah.
Which
would also
to make you laugh.
But the thing is, I think that would in a way kind of prove my bitter little point about therapy. It's like you could just kind of go like this guy can fucking do it. He's just like this guy did go to college and he fucking fixed this guy.
College serial dropout goth Arthur Reed can pretend to do therapy well enough to where it works.
To fix a guy who does have depression.
Well,
like,
you know,
it would be cool if it happened.
Honestly, if that were the case, then it would prove my belief about therapy, and that is that it's a good idea to do it.
Right. Well, you know, again, and that's what makes it so good. It makes it good art is that it's interpretive.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of different perspectives you could take on it.
But I think it would also prove that the power is in the individual.
Yeah.
And not in the therapist.
Well, that's what therapy's all about. Yeah, it's just about, you know,
encouraging the individual to make the changes that they have to make on their own. And I'm just worried about running out of content.
Right.
We can't talk about your dirty kitchen for 60 episodes.
I feel like we might be able to.
I don't know.
I don't know. Like,
well,
just depends on what kind of new stuff starts growing in there, you know? It's an evolving ecosystem. It generates more things to talk about.
I haven't been to your house since I helped you move.
Yeah, I thought about inviting you, but it just like I would have to clean, and
I'm
and
worried
also because like
about
my
what it's
walls
like
are
in
thin, and like I was like, what if we, you know, we're gonna be too loud and too rude, and my very nice landlady is gonna decide she doesn't like me.
Yeah, well, you do want to avoid that. That's why I don't go to most people's houses, because I'm so loud and rude.
Yeah, I can be as loud and rude as I want in this house. I don't live here.
Yeah, exactly.
It's your problem.
No consequences.
Exactly. It's
Look,
great.
the neighbors already think I'm a fucking lunatic.
Right, yeah.
They've heard me talk, like shouting to myself and weeping in the night.
And that is the luxury of living in an apartment with more than 3 tenants in it.
Mm-hmm.
And one of those tenants is not your landlord.
Yeah.
You know? If they're screaming in the dead of night, it's very easy math to figure out who it was, you know?
Yeah.
My landlady just has to ask my neighbor, like, did you scream in the night? And he just has to say no, and then they'll know who was doing it.
So what has you screaming in the night?
I mean, nothing. I'm actually great
You're
about
screaming for no reason?
No, I'm not. That was an example. I'm not screaming in the night.
That's good.
I'm so quiet in the night.
Mm-hmm.
I got a fucking PS5. I can plug my headphones into the controller. I'm fucking quiet as a mouse. I'm such a good tenant. Until she sees my apartment, then she won't think that. But from her perspective right now, I'm such a good tenant. fucking pay my rent on time. Quiet.
Well,
And in my head, it's just fucking gunshots and the sound of katana ripping through flesh. Just being jacked directly into my brain, just like the headphones on either side. Just like, it's I think that's why it feels so serial killery too, is because this, like, for some reason, I don't know if like this is like programmed in and CD Projekt Red knows what they're doing. But like anytime I get into like a real killing spree in Cyberpunk, the music always just turns into this like dum, just like this like weird atmospheric, like this like hypnotic, dark, weird pulsing beat that they just like go into sometimes. And I feel like I enter in like a violent hypnotic state when that happens.
I'm
Like one time I was doing that and like there was like a glitch and the music stopped and I was like, like I snapped out of it. Like it was like, wow, where am I? I looked around, I'm surrounded by dead bodies.
fucking
Just like
Neo waking up from the Matrix.
yeah, or more like a fucking like a Russian sleeper agent. Just like someone said blueberry and like the thing that lets me know kung fu turned off and I come to surrounded by corpses. Did I do this? My hands are covered in blood. Like,
Let's talk about your mental health.
okay.
What's wrong? What's wrong
What's
with your mental health?
What? Oh,
I'm just
no.
struggling.
I'm
so
like,
much.
what if I answered that genuinely? Like, what if I had to like pin it down?
You know what?
Yeah.
Do it.
What's wrong with my mental health?
I love this. The premise just got so easy for me.
Just like,
What's wrong with your mental health? Tell me.
I bet I could figure it out right now.
All right.
Like, what is it really? Like, what's... You just speed run the whole podcast. Fix it! It's just like...
I love the look on your face right now.
I'm trying.
You're like you're like
I'm
peering up into
I'm
the corner of the
considering it
room
seriously.
wistfully. Like
what is it? Like,
it really looks like you're examining things.
I've already decided that I'm unsuccessful, so everything else is just kind of an uphill battle.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Yeah, okay. Every time I try to gain success, in the back of my mind, I'm like, this isn't going to work. So I have to like work 3 times as hard to actually do it because I'm already convinced it's going to fail.
Why are you convinced it's going to fail?
Because I'm a fucking loser, dude. I'm a fucking fat, gay loser. You know? Thanks, everybody, for listening to Chris Dunne Won't Go to Therapy. I'm a fat, gay loser.
Okay. Let's talk about you being a fat gay loser.
Okay. Let's talk about it. Yeah, man. Let's do it. Let's dig in.
There's something here. Let's dig into the fact that that's your answer.
Yeah.
Why is that your answer? I mean, there's a lot in there.
Yeah.
There's a lot to unpack with what you just said. A lot of, I mean, I don't even need to say it, right? Internalized fat phobia and internalized homophobia right there.
Yeah.
Diagnosed. Do you genuinely believe that maybe some part of your low self-esteem comes from internalized whatever phobia?
Yeah, I mean, I think again, it's less of me being a fat gay loser and more just like, it's more the other thing of just like deciding that it's already failed before it started.
Well, I guess that's...
And I think what that comes from is just like this weird kind of manic not counting chickensism, where it's like I'm so prepared to lose that I just assume it's already happened.
Okay.
To an extent that like actually keeps me from doing stuff.
Why do you think you prepare to lose so thoroughly?
my first day of college, we were sitting at a table. I was sitting at a table with a bunch of people I was about to go on like a camping trip with, like an orientation camping trip for students to get to know each other. We were talking about stuff that we like to do and our aspirations. And I mentioned that I had like written a couple of scripts because they were all terrible, but I had. And this one kid was like, oh shit, do you have Final Cut? And I was like, oh no, I don't. Or not Final Cut. Do you have like Final Draft? And I was like, oh no, I don't. And he was like, oh. And he kind of gave me this look, like I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, and that I was like a big poser. And just like that guy has lived in my head every moment of every day ever since. I'm just like, oh, you think that you're good at stuff? You don't know who the fuck you are. You're a nobody. You know what I mean?
So you feel like you don't have something to actually validate the talent that you know you have?
I guess. Yeah.
Or do you not know you have the talent?
I think it's maybe a mix of both. Where like I don't know, like my feelings regarding my level of talent vacillate wildly. Like there is no point where like I feel like I have a healthy relationship to the art I create, because it's either like you're a fucking hack and the only reason people like your stuff is that they have bad taste, and you're the greatest genius of your generation. Like there's no healthy middle ground. And it mostly sits in that first one, which I think is good. I think it's like, or maybe it's not. I think it would be more successful if it was the second one, but I would be harder to be around. So I guess it would rather be the first one.
Well, it sounds like the first one is hurting you though.
Yeah, but the second one would also in different ways.
So what do you think?
I think the first one is actually make the art better. Because like I think you need a certain amount of like you need to be self-critical enough to like to understand that not everything that pops out of your head is going to be genius.
Right.
You know?
Right.
You have to have taste about your own stuff.
Right.
I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, you can't just let whatever come out and assume that it's great just because it's you know?
Yeah, no, there needs to be a balance, but the balance is definitely off.
Well, I guess that's what I'm asking.
Or you just need to like have a different mindset that exists somewhere in the middle, I guess.
Right. I guess that's what I'm asking is why do you feel like those are your only options? Do you feel like it's not
that I feel like they're my only options. It's just like the kind of modes that my brain clicks into the most easily. I think because they're the easiest. It's like because one of them, like if I suck at this, then I don't have to try. And if I'm a genius, then I don't have to try. Like, you know?
Right.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what it is. Like, yeah. And also like it's very easy once I start to like actually feel the stuff that I'm working on, that I start to think that it's good. It's very easy to click into the I'm a genius mode because again, that's just endorphins firing in your brain. It feels great to think you're doing a great job. And again, because I'm addicted to those like short bursts of endorphins, like it's very easy to fall into that kind of narcissistic headspace, because that narcissistic headspace is built to generate those feelings. You know? So it's easy to drop into that. But then again, even when I do drop into that, like there's this other voice in my head going, I can't believe you just dropped into that. Like, you fucking narcissist, you piece of shit. So yeah, I'm confused in general.
I'm a sleepy boy.
Yeah, me too.
Who wishes he was eating a donut right now. And I have to say, I feel like I've done a terrible job at fixing you today.
Well, you know, it's a process. It's so weird that I'm saying this to you. It's a process. It's slow. You know, you're not going to fix me overnight.
I think. Look, this show is a fresh premise that I think we need to keep kind of poking around in, because there have been a lot of moments where you have been extremely funny, and I haven't known how to pull more of it out of you. Right. And that I feel like is my goal as your therapist.
Yeah.
Is to encourage
my
say
darkest impulses. Yeah.
Funny, silly, fucked up things.
Yeah. Your goal is the same goal as all therapists, which is to get me to say stuff that humiliates me.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it's to get you to say stuff that is fucking
That
crazy.
is marketable. That's
Right.
that you could put on a fucking t-shirt.
Exactly. Right. You know, we need a catchphrase out of you.
Right.
We need to get
Get me a fucking catchphrase. Just a picture of me giving a thumbs up, and it just says like, "My kitchen smells like shit" or something. Just.
And that'll be the t-shirt.
That'll be the
lifeintheworldtocome.bigcartel.com. Get your "My Kitchen Smells Like Shit" t-shirt
it's
today.
just a picture of me nude in my awful kitchen.
It's a photo.
It's just me. It's a,
It's a
picture of
grainy,
me
low-res
making-
photo.
Me shirtless making burgers at 4 a.m. next to a deep sink filled with dishes way over the brim.
Somebody would.
Just-
People would buy that.
They would.
Yeah.
They would. They fight. I think what we've proven is that they'll buy anything, which is a huge amount of responsibility for me. I could just put stuff on there and they'll buy it. That sucks.
That's great.
No, it's bad.
No, it's great.
It
Shut up.
encourages me to not work hard. Like I can just put stuff on.
Maybe
Yeah.
you're underestimating a value that your ideas have. People
Okay.
buying it, you seem to assume that that's an error.
Right. Well,
And not that your ideas have a unique value.
right. Well, it's a thing I kind of blew past very quickly before.
Mm-hmm.
It's this kind of like weird belief I have that like when people like what I do, it's not because what I do is good. It's because they have bad taste.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they're dumb and the things that they think are good are bad, like what I do.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Do you think this comes more from a place of misanthropy or from self-loathing?
Self-loathing.
Yeah.
Definitely self-loathing.
Because I would argue
It's almost like I'm afraid that that's the case, and like mentally I'm just getting ahead of it.
you're preparing.
Yeah, like I'm just kind of like where it's like no, it's that thing where it's like, oh, you can't make fun of me because I've already made fun of myself first, but nobody is making fun of me, so I'm just kind of like I'm standing in like an empty plaza screaming about how bad I am. And everyone's just like, oh, okay. Like we didn't ask, but sure.
Well, it's it's funny that you talk about getting ahead of it,
Right.
because that's kind of what you were saying earlier,
Mm-hmm.
is that you assume that you failed before you even try.
Right.
That you seem to kind of hyper or over prepare
Right.
for disappointment.
Yeah.
Would you say that's accurate?
Yeah.
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 It's good to know.
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm going from there.
I was about to say I didn't ask a girl out until I was in my 20s, but that's actually not true.
Good.
Which is interesting. That like in my I
Yeah.
had romantic experiences as a teen, but like just based on the information that I know about myself just now, I was like, no, you didn't. Like it's like you've never kissed a girl. Yes, you have. What are you talking about? Like
That is so fucking funny.
like,
That is so that is.
it's like, did I just fucking call myself a virgin? Like,
you did.
I think I just did.
And I think that it speaks to just how deep the self-loathing that we're trying to unpack here really is.
Yeah.
Because
Because I have, it just didn't count. Like,
right, you
like
didn't
all of like
even-
my romantic interactions haven't counted for some reason.
your self-criticism is so severe that you've gaslit yourself
into thinking,
into
I'm a
thinking
virgin.
things about yourself that
Yeah.
aren't true.
Right.
And that includes that your t-shirt ideas aren't actually
Aren't
good.
Actually good. Yeah.
By virtue of the fact that people valued it
I guess
enough
so.
to purchase it,
Yeah.
proves that it had value to them. Either that or they're fucking nuts.
That's the worry. Yeah. Is that they're crazy and that they have bad taste.
Well, that's
And
interesting.
they like me because I suck and they like things that suck.
Do you think
You
that
hear me, people on the Patreon? That's how I feel about you.
that's
I feel that way so strongly that I had to write a fucking straight-faced novel. Fucking a wildly off-brand novel to convince myself I'm a real artist. That's not really true, but it's a little true. It's like, you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
You know?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. You feel like in order to convince people that you're a genuine artist,
Yeah, I had
you
to make
needed to
genuine
do something
art.
that
Yeah.
felt more serious.
Right, which podcasting unfortunately isn't.
Why not?
Because of all the poop and stuff I say. I say a lot of stuff about poop and cum, and I was like, what if I did a thing that didn't talk so much about poop and cum?
Well, does a lack of poop and cum is that what defines good art?
Let me ask you a question, therapist.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think this is art? Look me in the eye and tell me you think this is art.
I can't.
Exactly.
I think that this is something for you to reflect on between now and our next appointment.
Okay.
Is your confidence and your lack of confidence in your confidence and being a fat gay loser.
I don't know, maybe lean in. Like, you know, if this is the identity that you're comfortable with, just kind of like, how can you be a powerful fat gay loser?
I feel like that's what you've been trying to do.
I think honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the vibe I'm going for.
Yeah, I think
It's just like-
that's exactly what you're
Is
going
to
for.
like be a disgusting piece of shit, but just kind of be like, yeah, what? The whole time.
Well, unfortunately, we're out of time.
Okay.
So I'm going to let you go.
Okay.
But I'll see you here same time next week.
Right. And I did just because I know we had this conversation last time. I did bring you a huge duffel bag full of $1 bills.
Okay.
Because you only take cash.
I forgot this was
Yeah.
a cash-only
Right.
therapy.
And I've just added the detail that it's only $1 bills. So I've got you a huge duffel bag full of $351 bills.
That's fine.
Is that
That's
how much
fine.
therapy costs? How much is a therapy session?
I have insurance for it.
Yeah, so you don't even
doesn't
fucking
cost that
know.
much.
Yeah.
My insurance covers most of it.
Right.
Um,
Right, but again, you're like a back alley therapist, so insurance.
I
you-
don't
you-
have a
you-
degree, Chris.
Right, you very much do not accept insurance. Thank you.
No.
You insist on making the same amount of money as a real therapist, but you do not accept insurance.
No.
So you're just like, this is going to be like $600.
Listen, I don't have a degree.
Yeah. That's yeah, you say that to me at the beginning of every session.
I am not qualified.
Right.
This is illegal.
Okay, good. Yeah, okay, good.
Do you see a plaque?
It says so on the fucking sign on the strip mall you work out of. You work out. It used to be a Denny's, and now it's Will's Illegal Therapy, which it says in big neon letters on the front.
You will see
Like,
a plaque that says UCSW. Unlicensed clinical social worker.
Okay. Yes.
I work socially
Okay.
and clinically, but I do not have a license to do
Right.
so.
See, I made that in Photoshop.
I
This is just for me.
and I bought a I bought a little brass plaque for it on Amazon.
Right.
I sent them a custom image and they printed it out.
Right. You seem mad. Like,
I am mad. Because people keep trying to get me to take insurance.
hey, here's your fucking money, dude.
Give me my fucking money.
Sound effect of me dumping out a bag full of cash onto the floor of your office.
Get lost, you fucking pig.
Yeah, okay.
Intro and outro music is
We Are the Hellhounds by the time. It's still
Is
We Are
it?
the Hellhounds.
and lifeintheworldtocome.bigcartel.com for merch, patreon.com/lifeintheworldtocome to support. You can send us questions about surviving the apocalypse at lifeintheworldtocome@gmail.com, and we're open for ads if you want to send us money in order to talk about you.
If you want to talk about ads, it's Litwick Biz, LITWTC Biz @gmail.com.
Oh, okay, my bad.
So, all right. Well, I'm gonna get going.
Yes, I have other appointments.
All right.
I'm a busy man.
Oh God, there's like 8 people in your hallway.
Yeah. they're mad.
They're all mad. We've
They're
been going
really
for
mad
this is
at
an hour long.
You had
session.
50 minutes.
You're pretty unprofessional. as a
It's been 2
therapist.
hours.
You could have kicked me out at any time.
Well,
like,
I felt like I wasn't able to.
all right. Well,
You were a really
it was
imposing
just
presence.
The energy that I was putting out.
That was. You just made me feel like I couldn't.
God, I want you to be a real therapist so bad. You'd be so good at
I
it.
feel a little. I felt a little uncomfortable, and I didn't feel like I could.
I'm gonna be honest, man. You freak me out. You told me that stuff about your life, and I'm like, damn, that's fucked. I don't like this guy.
I kind of froze up a little bit.
Right.
No, I would not make a good therapist. A therapist needs to be able to like assert boundaries and shit. No, never. It would never happen. My fucking patients would be texting me all day, and I'd be like, of course I'm your friend.